What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be giving you the top 5 loadouts you can be using right now in Warzone 3. Now, there were supposed to be some patch notes that released today, and apparently they released the season 1 reloaded stuff instead. So I'll be covering that in a short form video because it's a lot of information, and I'm just going to break it down to you in a short form video. So make sure you're subscribed, like, hit that noti bell, all that good stuff. But today I'm going to give you these top 5 loadouts. These are the top 5 loadouts you're going to be able to use right now in Warzone 3. And I'm going to give you 2 extra bonus loadouts, and these are going to be full loadouts. So I'll give you all the perks I'm using and the tacticals and all the equipment, all that kind of stuff, and then give you the actual builds for the weapons. Have screenshots ready for you, all those kinds of things. So let's get into it. Now, for the perks that I'm using, I'm going to start out here with the Mountaineer perk. Mountaineer perk is so underrated in my opinion. You can use quick fix if you want, but I'm using Mountaineer perk for my slot 1. You can just jump off buildings with pretty much 0 fall damage. It's awesome, to be honest, especially if you're playing Vondel. Now, for my slot 2, I'm running double time. Okay, so that increases your tac sprint duration and reduces your refresh time of that tac sprint. So highly recommend there. For my slot 3, I'm using either quick fix or I'm going to be using prime. So completely up to you there. If you want to use tempered, you can, but I like to pick up tempered off the ground loot or buy it from a buy station. So completely up to you there. But primed is usually what I'm running, or quick fix. Then I'm running high alert, to be honest. Bird's eye solid. Resolute doesn't really last long enough to be super viable for me. Ghost is fine, but if you're running bird's eye, it's exactly a counter to ghost. So bird's eye, you can see people with ghost on. Ghost, you have to be moving around. So I'm running high alert here. Just helps me out in tough situations, so I know where I'm getting peeked at, especially with one-shot snipers in the game. I highly recommend high alert for sure. That or bird's eye, so that you can see those ghosted players and you don't have to run into corner campers in a building or something, so you know exactly where they are. But high alert, really solid to use. So those are my perks. I'm running a throwing knife. This saves you so much ammo, especially when you're trying to finish off an enemy, so highly recommend that. And then I'm running stims for the speed boost, those kinds of things. Smokes are really solid as well, but I think I'm sticking with stim boost. Gets me out of some sticky situations, so completely up to you there. Let me know what you're running down in the comments, what you like to run, but I'm running stim. For this first loadout, everybody knows about the MTZ Interceptor. This was supposed to get a nerf today. It didn't, so it's still very, very viable. We're gonna run the Nilsound 90 muzzle, or you're gonna run the Spirit Fire Suppressor L. Completely up to you there. Bounces his bullet velocity up to 18%, or by 18%. This one only does 7.5%, so that's kind of what we're rocking there, is the Nilsound 90 muzzle. The Blackthorn MTZ barrel here, this is going to increase that bullet velocity by 30%, and then the minimum and effective damage ranges by 25%. Hands down, the best barrel you can have on it. We're running the high grain rounds, which boosts all of that range by 15%, and then the 20 round mag here, and then I like the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope. This thing is still absolutely broken. It's just like, how this is still 2-shot to the head is beyond me. It's just crazy. So this will get a nerf probably Thursday. At this point, I don't know. They were supposed to nerf it today. They haven't done that. So what you want to run with this, you can run any SMG you want. I have it paired with this Striker. I like the Striker quite a bit. If you guys have been looking for a Striker build, this is a solid one. I'm going with the Himbers Mod Suppressor S, the DR6 hand stop underbarrel, the Slate Reflector sight here, the 48 round mag, and the Lockman MK2 light stock. And I'm absolutely loving this build. Very mobile, fun to run, very little recoil, very controllable. Use that, have some fun with it. Let me know what you think about that Striker build. Next, I'm running the KATT-AMR sniper, which is 1 shot, and the RAM-7. I'm going to give you a couple bonus ones that will include another sniper as well, but I like the KATT-AMR. It's the hands down best sniper for 1-shotting, especially if you're on big map, but it's the most consistent 1-shot for sure. So we're going to go with that Sonic Suppressor XL muzzle, the Zang 34 barrel, the 50 cal Spire Point rounds. This increases that bullet velocity by 34%, which is absolutely insane. And that Zang barrel is going to increase it by 17. So we're increasing that bullet velocity as much as we can. 12.9 for that muzzle. A lot of fun to run. Tactical stock pad here, increasing that ADS speed by 7.5% without having to put a laser on it so your enemies don't see you. And then the quick bolt, which increases that rate of fire, which really, really helps. Now, the thing about this KATT-AMR is what you're going to do is immediately go into the firing range, put on 3 plates, and see if it one-shots. It won't one-shot in the firing range, and I don't understand why, but it one-shots in the game. I guess maybe it's just the firing range that's bugged. I think it's the base health in the firing range that's making it do this. But if you go in here, you will not 1-shot to the head on any of the dummies. No idea why. If I put on no plates, it will. If I put on 1 plate, it will. If I put on 2 plates, it will. But once I put on 3 plates in the firing range only, it won't. Makes no sense because it does actually 1-shot in the game. Next, I'm running that with the RAM-7 as a sniper support. With the Cassius brake muzzle on this RAM-7, it's wild how little visual recoil this thing has. So go with the Cassius brake muzzle, run the Cronin headwind long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel. This is my favorite underbarrel by far because I have a hard time with horizontal recoil control. This one helps the horizontal recoil control the best. And then run it with a 60 round drum, and then run it with an optic if you want. But I've got the HVS 3.4 pad on this thing. Again, helps with the horizontal, but also with the vertical on this thing as well. I'll show this to you guys in the firing range. Absolute beast to run, man. Absolutely loving this thing. It hits so hard and just very little visual recoil. Next, my favorite LMG by far, I've been saying it for weeks, Pulemyot 7.62. It's just so good. Very little visual recoil as well. And I'm running this with the WSP Swarm. A lot of fun to run, man. We're going with the VT7 Spiritfire Suppressor L, the Bruin Heavy Support Grip Underbarrel. You want to attach the Jack and Eiler Bullpup kit, and then you'll have access to the Commander D15 Recoil Reduction stock, along with the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope. Then I'm running with this with the WSP Swarm. I've been running the same WSP Swarm for weeks. Hasn't changed. Loving it so far. The WSP Reckless 90 long barrel, the DR6 hand stop underbarrel. The thing I learned about this DR6 hand stop is that it increases the ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. Feels like the most consistent. Like I like this XRK Edge BW4 hand stop. That's a mouthful, but it doesn't have as good of handling as the DR6 hand stop, which is what I want in a SMG, is better handling. It has better ADS movement speed. It has better crouch movement speed and better movement speed in general, but this has better handling, which is what I want in an SMG. Therefore, you can put on the XRK Edge hand stop underbarrel, or you can use the DR6 hand stop. So whatever playstyle you're looking for, use whichever one of those, but those are two very solid options when it comes to the underbarrel. I like the 50 round mag. You can put on the 100 round drum if you want to troll your enemies and something like that, but I like the 50 round mag there. I like the slate reflector sight on it, and then the FSS Fortress heavy stock really helps with that recoil control, and not a lot of hits to the mobility and handling, to be honest. Not enough to make a difference, and then the recoil control is just crucial when it comes to the WSP Swarm. All right, so for this next loadout set, this is going to be the TAQ or the TAQ Eradicator, but I call it the TAQ. Just Eradicators could get dicey when it comes to YouTube. Anyway, and then I'm running this with the WSP-9, and then we've got a couple bonus loadouts for you again, like I said, but we're going to run the TAQ Eradicator. You're going to go with the VT7 Spiritfire Suppressor L, the Conqueror 70 long barrel, the Bruin Heavy Support Grip underbarrel, again with that horizontal recoil control. That's what I struggle with. It's going to help it the most. And then the high grain rounds here, going to increase that bullet velocity by 15%, increase that range across the board by 15%. And then the TAQ Verde stock here, again, helps that recoil control quite a bit. Now, if you want to run a sight, take off the high grain rounds, add the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times optic there. But again, basically this is the TAQ 56, but the LMG version, same kind of same iron sight on it, which is incredible. A lot of fun to run there. Again, you can use the sight on it if you want. I have not tried this with the Cassius brake L muzzle on it. Again, I like the silencer to keep me off the minimap, but ooh, I mean, it doesn't have any visual recoil either, and it barely had any to me as is, but the Cassius brake's really solid as well. Completely up to you there. And then again, if you want to use the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times optic on it, a lot of fun to run as well. Just whew. Yeah, I might run that Cassius brake on it. Completely up to you there, but all of those options feel really solid, so completely up to your playstyle. For this WSP-9, we're going to go with the WSP Infiltrator Integrated Barrel, the SL Skeletal Vertical Grip, the high grain rounds, the 40 round mag, and the Marauder rear grip here. Loving this thing so far. It does shoot a lot slower than the WSP Swarm, but I feel like it hits a lot fast, it hits a lot harder than the WSP Swarm. So very interchangeable in my opinion. Has great movement, great mobility, and hits harder than the WSP Swarm. But again, the fire rate is what is the difference there. So for these bonus loadouts, I've got the longbow. This, like I said, this MTZ Interceptor is about to get a heavy nerf, hopefully tomorrow. Supposed to get it today. I've got one you can completely interchange with that. It's going to 2-shot to the head as well. And then I've got another 1-shot sniper option. This is going to be like the Car 98 version that I did a while back of the FJX Imperium. It does 1-shot with explosive rounds, but we'll see. I've got a loadout for you. You can go try it if you want. But again, this longbow DMR, and then I've got the AMR 9, mid-range to long range range loadout, great sniper support option for you as well, but we're going to give you those loadouts right now. So we're going to go with the sonic suppressor on the longbow, the Pro 99 long barrel. I like the Choreo Eagle's eye 2.5 times scope here, the high grain rounds to increase that bullet velocity by 15%, and then the SAM or the SAM quick bolt. This increases that rechambering speed and fire rate by quite a bit. So this doesn't have the setting that I recommend having on, so we're going to check it out with the setting and without the setting. I'll show you that setting here in a second, but again, this is with it off. That's as fast as I can squeeze the trigger. But if you go and you switch the manual fire behavior to hold, I think it's going to shoot a lot quicker. Again, the hold does mess with your pistols, so if you're running pistols a lot, I recommend not having that on. Completely up to you. It doesn't really mess with it that much, in my opinion, to make a real big difference. But again, if you take it off, it's going to shoot a little bit slower, but it does two-shot to the head. So, you know, it's going to be exactly what you want to switch to if you enjoy the Interceptor. Now for the AMR-9 long range loadout, we're going to go with the Sonic Suppressor S muzzle, the AMR-9 Enforcer long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel. I like the 100-round drum on this thing. I think you're going to probably need it if you're going to run this. And the Choreo Eagle's eye 2.5 times scope. With that 100-round drum, it's supposed to decrease your movement speed, but I don't see a huge difference in it, but it does slap. Very minimal recoil on it, but a lot of fun to run. And then for that Car 98 FJX, it is one shot. I think it up to like 45 meters, 50 meters maybe, but I took a shot at somebody, hit their head at 44 meters earlier, and it did not one shot them. But I think maybe I hit a neck shot. Maybe I just didn't hit the headshot. But we're gonna go with the VLK 7 milliwatt laser here. The explosive rounds, which does make it one shot. It definitely does one shot at a certain range. I think it's 45. I don't think it's a full 50. But I've got the SPX 80 sight here. Some other options for you if you don't like that sight. I think my favorite is probably going to be the Forge TAQ Delta, which is what I used in Model Warfare 2 for this thing. My boy Jay's WASD KR Marauder, he likes the KR Marauder a lot too. And then you can use the Choreo Eagle's eye 2.5 times scope there, completely up to you. And then I like the FJX Blast and then the Skull 40 rear grip here as well. But yeah, a lot of fun to run. Let me know what your favorite down in the comment is to run, and then make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell. We'll have another updated loadout video for you guys on Friday. That way you guys will know if we do actually get nerfs and buffs tomorrow, Thursday. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes if we get those nerfs or buffs. But if that MTZ Interceptor gets nerfed, run the longbow DMR build that I gave, unless they nerf that as well. I don't see that happening. We'll see. You know, they always surprise us with updates and stuff. But if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that noti bell so you don't miss another video like this or like any of these. We'll see you in the next one.